It's 10 p.m. in Banjul and a warm welcome into the news. First, our headlines, the top stories. President Jammeh and high-powered delegation depart Banjul for Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to attend the African Union Summit. Gambia's tourism expansion drive receives a massive boost as one of the world's largest tour operators announced the start of 2 new summer flights to the Gambia. It is spreading uncontrollably, claiming more and more victims, and now the Zika virus has caught the attention of the World Health Organization, whose Director General describes the virus as a global emergency. And U.S. Republican presidential hopefuls prepare for the final debate before the first votes, with one notable absentee hogging the headlines. Well, now, viewers, these and other stories coming ahead in this half hour. I am your presenter, TENENG GITTEH. Welcome back. The President, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Ejiji Jammeh Babili Mensah, accompanied by a high-powered delegation, Wednesday night has left Banjul for Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to attend the African Union Summit. The President and delegation were seen off by the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Ajah Dr. Esrinjai Sedi, Cabinet Ministers and senior government officials. One of the world's leading tour operators is set to add the Gambia to its growing list of tourism destinations. This development comes after TUI Tours announced it will start 2 new summer flights as part of its drive to increase arrivals in the Smiling Coast. Officials of the Gambia Tourism Board and top ministry officials have welcomed the development. Gitteh is following that story and she filed in this report.
To promote the Gambia also more in the summer period. At the moment we have an operation of 1 flight in the summer, but the big news is that we just decided to add an extra flight this coming summer already to the Gambia. So instead of 1 flight we will have 2 flights. That if clients return back to Holland and they talk to relatives, family and neighbors positive about the Gambia, that's the best promotion you can get. And I'm happy to tell you this is the case in many cases.
The idea, which is spearheaded by these Netherlands tour operators, is a welcome boost for the tourism industry, one which Minister Benjamin Roberts says can transform the Gambia's destination promotion.
We have long sold the Gambia as a winter sun destination, and this is the reason why we have found it very challenging in the past, despite a number of efforts to convince our partners to look at the summer months. In other words, to extend the season from a 6-month season to a 10-month season, which is our aspiration. I think this decision by TUI Holland to look into other source markets where TUI has a base and could help us extend our season. I think it is quite a welcome news that yes, we all know you've been operating in the summer with 1 flight, but this time you're looking at adding an additional flight from Belgium to the Gambia during the summer months, from May, I would presume, to September or October. And for that, we are grateful.
Improving the service standards of hotels by renovating, stimulating the all-inclusive packages in hotels, as well as maintaining the peace and stability the Gambia is known for, were some issues highlighted by Manfred, which he said, if addressed, will augur well for the Gambia as a destination.
There are other possibilities as well in terms of further deepening, and enhancing your engagement with the Gambia as a tourism destination vis-a-vis Poland, vis-a-vis Germany and the Nordics is well recognized, and it is something that we would also put on the radar. But of course we know and do appreciate that these would be steps, gradual steps, depending on this first initiative that you have pretty much farmed up from the additional flight from Belgium to the Gambia during the summer months. And I want to assure you, and by extension the government, that we are committed to working with partners who want to engage us in a positive way.
As it stands, these partners whose sole aim is to promote destination Gambia, similar developments of such a magnitude may be very worthwhile, that will help bolster the development of tourism for a better season, thus increasing the potential of this crucial industry. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Aissatou Keita.
The Kanofi municipality has set its sight on remapping and redefining the operations of council to meet its growing demands. This is contained in the new 5-year strategic document being validated by council and its development partners. Janke Ture reports.
It is one of the most densely populated administrative areas in the country, and its management and proper functioning is crucial to the future direction of the running of the KMC. It is for this reason that officials of the council and their partners met for the validation of this 5-year strategic development plan. The European Union funded strategic document is the first for the KMC, and according to council officials, it will help redirect the way council deliver on its promise.
Formulating a strategic plan for the first time will help wipe the slate clean to depart from the traditional system of managing the council to a more reliable and responsive manner. Achieving the goal of the strategic plan should be everybody's responsibility. Therefore, I would like to appeal to everyone, especially the staff, in ensuring that this worthwhile document is implemented successfully.
Madam Jai assured that the strategic plan and the subsequent launching will contribute to the solutions geared towards addressing challenges facing the municipality at large. The day-long exercise was attended by senior government officials, among them Lands Minister, who described this important document as a critical step in charting a way for the future development of KMC.
The council will become more efficient, reliable, and effective in the service delivery in accordance with its mandate, which is, I quote, a modern municipal city with a high standard of living for all its people, as well as and also one has to take into account the mission of the council, which states, I quote, to transform Kanofi Municipal Council into an effective, efficient, and responsive local authority.
The Lord Mayor of Kanofi Municipality also stated his delight at this development, which he said will help council improve on its service provisions.
This strategic plan will be of a great benefit to KMC, as it provides us with a clear strategic direction and framework for effective execution of our mandate, and thus improve service delivery to our community.
Dominic Mendy is the head of the consultation team.
I represent Emanip Consulting this morning, and we cannot but thank Kanofi Municipality for the trust bestowed on us to give us this very laudable assignment. There cannot be a greater assignment for the son of the municipality than that which addresses the evolutionary development of council.
The development of this 5-year strategic plan is a clear manifestation of the commitment of the KMC in expanding its operations through efficient and well-defined policies, which will be expected of council as it enters a new development period. For GRTS News, I am Janke Ture.
An association comprising oyster producers from Ghana is in the Gambia on a 5-day study tour. The NAFTA Women Association arrived Wednesday ahead of what members refer to as an important expedition to learn basic oyster production from their Gambian counterparts. Aissatou Jatta has the rest of that story.
The Gambia is endowed with abundant fish stocks of different types, and this natural endowment has provided the country people, especially the women folk, the opportunity to engage in this lucrative industry. One main group engaged in the industry is the Oyster Women Association of the Gambia. These women have been renowned for their exploits in the production of oyster in the country. It is for this reason that a group of women oyster producers from Ghana under NAFTA Women Association are in the Gambia for a 5-day visit to learn from their Gambian counterparts.
We are here for women's empowerment. That's why we are here. To join the trial, how they get into, for 4 years, they get into good association. They are come to copy from them. How they work hard to get into this point. That's why we are here, to learn from them. We are not expecting that they'll come and, do something of sorts. So we are very, very, very excited. We are very happy for how they welcome us. We are very, very, very happy.
Rebecca S. Hum said her group is looking forward to learn from their Gambian counterparts while expressing their joy on the warm welcome they received from their host.
I'm a fish processor. We smoke fish, and now we have know that we shouldn't buy the illegal fish. In Ghana, most of our men, they use chemicals like DDT, Omo, many illegal for fishing. So we have come here to learn more about Gambia, how people smoke their fish, how they handle them, how they packaging them, so that we can change our business.
The coordinator of Tri-Oyster Association in the Gambia explains the importance of the visit by the NAFTA group. The visits, he added, will help them share ideas and learn from each other for the betterment of their different associations.
As you can see, these are women from Ghana, and they are all fisher folks. They all work in fisheries, either smoking fish or selling fish, cultivating fish, everything about fishing. That's what they do. And now they have decided to come to the Gambia because of USAID project. That's a sustainable fisheries management program. So they want to come here and have ideas to see how we can exchange amongst ourselves. It's all about food security and sustainability of the environment and the fisheries sector for food security.
It is the beginning of a 5-day tour which is expected to open up an important opportunity for the two women groups as well as their members who are renowned for their role in the production of oyster in their respective countries. Aissatou Diatta, GRTS.
The National Environment Agency hereby wishes to inform the general public that the next Operation Clean the Nation is scheduled for this Saturday, 30th January 2016. In this regard, all governors, Sefolu, Alkalulu, ward councillors, women organizations and government institutions are being reminded that a strong presidential directive has been issued requiring all of them to organize and fully participate in the next national cleanup exercise within their respective areas of jurisdiction. Consequently, there will be a mass inspection of premises, markets and areas of business by inspectors from the NEA, the Gambia Police Force and other stakeholders immediately after the exercise, and those found wanting would be prosecuted accordingly. Well, now, up next, why the World Health Organization is convening an emergency session to discuss the spiraling effect of the Zika virus. And Donald Trump is dominating the headlines despite his decision to stay away from the last debate before the crucial Iowa votes. Don't go away. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back. The World Health Organization now says the Zika virus is spreading explosively around the Americas and the level of alarm is extremely high. The World Health Organization says it would hold an emergency meeting on the virus on Monday. This mosquito-borne disease has been linked to microcephaly. It causes brain damage. Thousands of babies are born with this debilitating disease in Brazil, the ground zero of the Zika virus. CNN's Sasta Darlington met with some of the mothers.
Just like her first baby. But he was born with a small head and brain damage, microcephaly. People here react like he's got some contagious disease, she says. People look at him when we're in the street. There was no warning. Doctors only detected the disorder after Luis Felipe was born. What gives me strength is the love I feel for him, she says. Luis Felipe will need to be cared for his entire life. So she's doing this 3 times a week right now, taking her son to physical therapy, and yet she goes back to work in March. It's not clear how she's going to do this, and she's the only person in her family who has a job. Here in the state of Pernambuco, we've seen the heartache and the financial burden this is putting on families. More than 4,000 cases of newborn microcephaly have been reported in Brazil since Zika was detected less than a year ago. A third of them are here, where babies and moms face endless jabs and tests. Dr. Angela Rocha, one of the first to make the link between Zika and microcephaly. These babies have brain damage to differing degrees, which means inserting this generation into society is going to be very complicated, she says. Research continues to establish a cause and effect with the Zika virus, spread by the same mosquitoes that transmit yellow fever and dengue. There's no vaccine, no cure, which means the Aedes aegypti mosquito is public enemy number 1.
All the effort has been put on having on prevention by having the population of mosquitoes under control.
200,000 troops now going door to door, eliminating the stagnant water that serves as the mosquito's breeding ground and educating families. The health ministry admits it's been losing the war against the mosquito. And mothers-to-be across Brazil see their moment of hope turned into a moment of unbelievable anger.
U.S. Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump is digging in, refusing to participate in the last debate before the first vote. It's his anger with Fox News that is apparently to blame, and ironically, that network is a favorite among Republicans. CNN senior media correspondent Brian Stelter looks at the feud and the strong personalities involved.
Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
But their relationship is tortured, and now at a breaking point, with Trump boycotting Fox's debate. This fight, unprecedented for a TV news network.
I don't know what games Roger Ailes is playing.
For years, Ailes helped build Trump up, and Trump brought Ailes big ratings. But now the two men are at loggerheads, with some even comparing this to a monster movie. Trump as Frankenstein. Megyn Kelly is caught in the controversy as she preps to moderate a Trump-free debate.
I'll be there. The debate will go on, with or without Mr. Trump.
She famously clashed with Trump at the first debate of the season, causing Trump to threaten a Fox boycott and insult Kelly personally.
She gets out and she starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions, and you know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
Ailes was furious, and Fox said Trump doesn't seem to grasp that candidates telling journalists what to ask is not how the media works in this country. Later, Ailes and Trump struck a tenuous truce, then broke it, then got back together again. And maybe they'll make up this time too. But right now, feelings are raw, and Trump is the butt of jokes.
This is the first gorgeous blonde that he can't wrap around his finger.
People are now choosing sides, with influential conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh siding with Trump, saying Fox is acting jilted.
Donald Trump knows that by not showing up, he's owning the entire event. Some guy not even present will end up owning the entire event.
So who needs who more, Fox or Trump? Thursday's ratings might start to answer that key question. Brian Stelter, CNN, New York.
Well, Donald gets interesting by the day. Well, with that, we'll take our second break. We'll be right back. Sports is next. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. Renowned international boxer Badou Jack has been speaking out his desire to help promote boxing in the Gambia. The World Boxing Committee's super middleweight champion was speaking at the Independence Stadium, where he presented boxing gear to officials of the Gambia Boxing Association through the National Sports Council. Bob Kalsengor has more on that story.
His arrival was greeted with fanfare and enthusiasm, and that is understandable, for Badou Jack is making his first visit to the Gambia in 16 years. Hours after his arrival, the World Boxing Committee super middleweight champion donated a large consignment of boxing gear to the Gambia Boxing Association through the National Sports Council. This latest delivery of boxing materials is a significant development in the drive to popularize this sport, which is gaining momentum in the Gambia. He's made it to the top of the sports through sheer determination, allied with his desire to challenge the very best in boxing. The champion boxer is now hoping to use his newfound stardom to inspire the country's emerging talents.
Next time, hopefully we have maybe 2 months ahead so we can plan it together to do a big, charity project. Right now we only have 1 or 2 days, so this is the best we could get in 1 or 2 days. So yeah, hopefully this equipment can be help to the young boxers, and in the future we can probably help with more stuff.
It's good somebody said earlier on that sometimes or wherever he goes he has that or those Gambian colors. We're quite proud and happy with that. So once more I want to say on behalf of government, the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the National Sports Council in particular, we are quite pleased and very proud of Badou, and want to urge also some other athletes, boxers, footballers, anybody who does anything and is out there, and is Gambian, or has anything to do with the Gambia, to also emulate Badou. I mean, if everybody does like he's done now, easily we could get our sport to another pedestal. So we want to encourage everybody there, to, at least contribute something towards improving our sports.
This development, Boxing Association members say, will help in the promotion of boxing in the country.
I'm going to keep this material, since they are not much. It's going to be for the national team. That is, whenever there's a program outside, there's a competition outside, we will gather them together and train them as a training camp.
I feel great. I feel excited to receive that from him, and that's always what we are wishing, to get fun, to get help in order to make the training successful and easy for us. And for him coming here, that's really great, because I mean, if I'm a boxer and I see him here as a champion, it will really add my courage in order to train more, to be like him, because he's my role model. I want to be like him in the future.
The 32-year-old Swede is a former Gambian Olympian, having represented the country in the 2008 Summer Games in Beijing. Now, after 16 years since his last visit, the boxing superstar is hoping to make the most of his presence in his second home. GRTS Sport is Baukar Senghor.
And viewers from sports, we now join the Weather Center for the day's weather outlook.
The Gambia is endowed with a wonderful landscape full of baobab trees. Like its Cape Point in Bakau, it is one of the most exotic sceneries in the world. The baobab tree is a symbol of resilience, wisdom, and resourcefulness. For the baobab tree provides good food in times of hunger, rents its bark for medications, and its sap for glue. In the Gambia, there is a company like the baobab tree, 100% African and purely Gambian in all aspects, in know-how, design, value, capital, and management. That company is Elton. Elton, employing hundreds of Gambians and proudly associating itself with development in the Gambia. Elton, side by side with the Gambia.
My name is Abukan and welcome to the weather segment. It has been sunny and hazy over most parts of the country. Satellite images show convective clouds over West and Southern Africa. Tonight, the weather will be partly cloudy, relatively cool and dry, with occasionally breezy conditions over most places. And the same condition is expected to prevail until tomorrow in the morning, becoming sunny and relatively warm in the afternoon. Surface winds will be mainly northeasterly in direction, moving at a speed of 10 to 25 km per hour. Minimum temperatures would be 19 degrees Celsius over Greater Banjul, West Coast and Lower River regions, 17 degrees Celsius over North Bank and Upper River regions, and 18 degrees Celsius over Central River region. Maximum temperatures would vary between 36 degrees and 37 degrees Celsius over inland, 35 degrees Celsius over Central River region, dropping to 33 degrees Celsius over the coastal areas. Low tide would be 0.4 meters at 7 a.m. and 0.5 meters at 7 p.m. High tides would be 1.7 meters at 1 a.m. and 1.4 meters at 1 p.m. Waves would be 1 to 2 meters northeasterly swells. The sun will rise at 7:34 in the morning and will set at 19:03 in the evening. Well, that's all we have for tonight's focus, and thanks for watching.
Well, it looks like a beautiful day ahead. And with that, we come to the end of today's newscast. But before we take leave of you, a quick reminder of our day's main stories. President Jammeh and high-powered delegation have departed Banjul for Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to attend the African Union Summit. Gambia's tourism expansion drive has received a massive boost as one of the world's largest tour operators announced the start of 2 new summer flights to the Gambia. It is spreading uncontrollably, claiming more and more victims, and now the Zika virus has caught the attention of the World Health Organization, whose Director General has described the virus as a global emergency. And U.S. Republican presidential hopefuls are preparing for the final debate before the first votes, with one notable absentee hogging the headlines. Well, viewers, that was all in this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Do stay with us, and I'm your presenter, TENENG GITTEH. Have a beautiful night.